What's up, meta-nerds? This video is all about the Lambda-class T-4a shuttle that was used by the Galactic Empire. Manufactured through a joint effort of Sinar Fleet Systems, the creator of the TIE Fighters, and Cygnus Spaceworks, the company that produced what was called the Abecedarian line of shuttles, which were exclusive luxury shuttles made for the Empire, which also included the Sentinel-class shuttle. It cost the taxpayer 240,000 credits, equal to the price of 4 TIE Fighters, and around 3 times the Nu-class shuttle used by the Republic. It had a length of 20 meters, or 66 feet, making it around twice the length of a TIE Advanced X-1. And at a width of 15.9 meters, or 52 feet, it was as wide as 1.5 TIE bombers. And at a height of 22.7 meters, or 74 feet, it was nearly the exact same height of an AT-AT. The Lambda class had a top speed of 850 kilometers per hour, or 528 miles per hour, the exact same speed as the TIE bomber, and around half the speed of a TIE Defender. And to achieve this speed, it had a pair of SFS 204 ion engines, while other models had a SFS ZRK5 ion engines, while also having a top-of-the-line Class 1 hyperdrive, faster than Imperial Star Destroyers and most starfighters, and was only beat by elite ships like the Millennium Falcon, Slave One, and some Nubius Star Drive ships used by the Naboo royalty. It also had a backup Class 10 hyperdrive, and for defense, its hull was reinforced with layering of Durasteel and carbon fiber, making it much stronger than many starfighters, while also being protected by multiple shield generators that were each rated at the same strength as the TIE Defender, but were placed throughout the ship so that they had redundant layering. But let's take a look inside of the ship to see where everything was and how it all worked. Those deflector shield projectors were located throughout the wings, with their power support being located right along the main structural support beam, and heat sinks filling out the rest of the space. The landing gear was located here, right in front of the ion engine fuel tanks, which would feed into the ion engine thrust chamber, in which the radioactive gas was energized, creating ions that would accelerate out of the back of the shuttle through the ion engine thrust chamber, creating this blue-white glow that we see at the rear of the ship. And right above these ion engines is where the hyperdrive field generator was located, and then right above this was the main power reactor for the entire ship, which would radiate heat out through the wings, and which had to be encased in special shielding, since it was located right above the main passenger area. The Lambda could carry up to 20 passengers, comfortably sitting in these nice chairs, while also having an additional row of bench seating. Up in the cockpit, there was room for 6, the pilot, co-pilot, navigator, gunner, communications officer, and engineer. They would receive data from the wide array of sensors that were located at the front of the ship, while the gunner would be manning the 6 laser cannons, 2 fixed laser cannons here, and 2 adjustable cannons here, and the additional twin blaster cannon located at the rear. Other important features include a dedicated HoloNet transceiver in some of the fancier models, while all could carry up to 80 metric tons in that passenger section, a weight that is equal to 50 Rancors. But perhaps the most important feature is that the entire cockpit of this ship can be jettisoned away from the main body via a series of small rocket thrusters on the bottom here, but sadly, this feature was really only appreciated by the VIPs on board, as there wasn't enough room for all of the passengers. Its history started out as a successor to the Theta-class shuttle used by the Republic, and the Lambda was first introduced in 19 BBY, sometime after the Imperials started to subjugate the population of Kashyyyk. The TIE shuttle was also introduced around this time, but that was left for lower-ranking officers, while the more important personnel of the Empire would be accommodated with the Lambda class. Of course, this meant that Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine often used this ship, and they realized that it could also make a great scouting ship, because it had a strong hull, great shielding, and that Class 1 hyperdrive, while having enough firepower to defend itself. It could be used without an escort, and there were times where a single shuttle would be sent out when they wanted to do some covert reconnaissance. Palpatine's shuttle was equipped with even more shielding, and there were rumors across the galaxy that the Emperor's Lambda was even equipped with an active cloaking device, which seems very reasonable, since the Republic had developed cloaking technology, and even bounty hunters like Rook had their own personal cloaking device. The Tidarium was the Lambda-class shuttle that was captured by the Alliance to restore the Republic, and used to drop down a strike team on Endor. But this wasn't the only Lambda-class shuttle that was captured, and throughout the Galactic Civil War, when they were just using these as dropships, they would paint the Alliance logo on this center wing, so when they called in the Y-Wings or other starfighters, they weren't taken out by friendly fire. And when the Empire fell, many of these continued use in the New Republic and the Galactic Federation of Free Alliances. In Legends, they were used up until 40 ABY by Jacen Solo and Ben Skywalker, whereas in canon, they went on to influence the First Order ships, like the Upsilon-class command shuttle and the Xi-class light shuttle. So that's it for the Lambda-class shuttle, but you definitely want to hear these cool facts and behind-the-scenes stuff. The name Lambda comes from the Greek letter lambda, whose lowercase form resembles the arrangement of the wings, and it was originally named in the novelization of Return of the Jedi in 1983. There are some inconsistencies with the Lambda-class shuttles shown on screen, because ILM made a model of this ship, and there was also a mock-up that was made on set. In the model, the cockpit lines up with the bottom of the ship's body, whereas in the larger mock-up, the cockpit dips down further. This same mock-up had the landing gear be much taller, so high that people could walk underneath, but with the model, it is much shorter to the ground. And as you might expect, over the years, there have been different depictions in different video games and comics. In the X-Wing video games, there was a Delta-class JV-7 escort shuttle, which was described as a militarized version of the Lambda class. There are also different seating arrangements from different schematics that have been released over the years, with some adding 2 extra seats in the cockpit to be additional gunners, something that I think makes a lot of sense, while the arrangements of the passenger seats is also inconsistent. And the people that made the Firefly television series were obviously Star Wars fans, and when the Serenity is leaving the Eves Down docks, you can see a Lambda-class shuttle off in the distance. But that's it for the Lambda-class T-4a shuttle. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button, and if you want to check out our social media, or ways that you can help support this channel, be sure to check out the description down below. If you want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell icon so that you get notifications. But more important than all that, remember, working hard isn't about just making more credits. It's about making sure you can be in that cockpit when it jettisons away from an exploding Lambda. And the Force will be with you, always.